One of my favorite stories that we talk about all the time is the fact that when we merged households, I lived on the north side, he lived on the south side, so we converged into my house. And so Ree had to move to her junior year to a new high school. And that's tough for anybody to do, okay? It's a tough thing to do. And because of the differences in the curriculums, she had to share some classes with seniors, okay? Well, one of the classes that she had was kind of it's sociology or current events type thing. She had to do a presentation on President Nixon. And so she spent the whole weekend getting together this paper that she wrote and getting her note cards together. She did a little poster board of him waving from the plane and shaking hands with Elvis and, a variety of different things. She brings it out, we read the paper, and it's just absolutely stellar. It's definitely college work. It was fabulously well written. She shows us the poster board, and we're like, you are set. You are gonna nail it tomorrow, okay? So we send her off to school in her class full of seniors as the only junior, and we go to pick her up from work the next night. She's sitting on the corner with this very strange look on her face, okay? We pull up, and it's Michael and myself, and my best friend Deb from Portland was in town visiting. And the door opens, and Ree gets in, and she buckles her seatbelt, and we go, so, how did it go? Because public speaking is hard, let me tell you. Public speaking is hard. We knew she was a little bit nervous, but it's like, how did it go? And she goes, did you know that Nixon is dead? And she's shocked, and she's horrified, and she's humiliated. So I'm sitting there, and you have this just brief window to nurture a tender psyche, right? Tender, and that's what I'm thinking, tender teenage psyche, how do I make this work? And my response was I laughed so hard. I could not stop laughing. But he didn't stop there. Well, actually, I should back up, because now that I think about it, I wasn't the first one to respond. My friend Deb, who is an adult, college educated, who should have known that Nixon had died several years prior, she goes, no! What happened? Was it a stroke? She's got it at that pitch where the dogs in the neighborhood come running. You can barely hear what she's saying, but you sense that maybe she's surprised. One of those things, right? So that's actually the precursor to me laughing so hard that I did, in that occasion, I believe I did lose bodily functions. I won't name which ones. But when we finally all caught our breath, right? All of us were just laughing hysterically. We said, well, what happened? Tell us what happened. She goes, well, I got up there and I did my presentation. I'm thinking, this went pretty well, right? I open it up to questions, and this guy from the back goes, excuse me, Ree, but isn't Nixon dead? She goes, no, he's alive. I think he's living in New York. He's writing books now, as a matter of fact. She was so self-assured about it. Evidently, she had consulted dated sources, and she learned her lesson there. But that wasn't the end of it, because her teacher goes, no, Rhiannon, Nixon's definitely dead. Now, Elvis may be alive. I think someone saw him at a convenience store last week, but Nixon, we've got evidence that he's no longer with us. But great presentation, right? So it's in those moments where the laughter brings with it a form of bonding that doesn't tend to happen elsewhere. Because I tell you, every single time there's anything going on in politics, I'm on the phone, I'm like, hey, Ree, what do you think Nixon would think about that? Do you think you could check with him and see if he has an opinion or a comment? She uses colorful language to respond. She does.